What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Oh my God.
Just putting MSG in there. What do you mean?
Don't tell me you're gonna put everything.
Sprinkle on the lobster. Enjoy before you die. Eat some MSG.
If Nigel did this in my kitchen, I would slap him. If Uncle Roger did this in my kitchen, I would slap him. Chef Brian Tsao here, not your typical chef, and today I'm gonna be reacting to Uncle Roger Learn to Make Lobster Roll featuring Nick DiGiovanni. Before I go on with today's episode, I do want to give a special shout out to my newest sous chef level patrons, Evan Fitchett, Lemonade 513. Guys, thank you so much for your support. You, along with all the patrons, really do make a difference. And remember, by becoming a patron, you get to take advantage of some awesome perks like early access to new episodes, but more importantly, patron exclusive content.
Hello, Uncle Nick. How you doing?
We are going to be making, because we're in Boston, a lobster roll.
Nice.
This lobster's still alive. It's a bit
I
scary.
love
Look how
lobster
big it
rolls.
is. Put my face next to it. See how big this. Don't touch. Uncle Roger's scared. Uncle Nick, you win uncle title before because you make amazing pho. So today, let's see if you can keep your uncle title at the end of this video.
I can lose my uncle title?
Yeah.
Oh,
You
snap.
didn't tell me that when you came.
You have to show me your best lobster roll recipe. Let's see how he do. Uncle Roger, growing up, I don't have money, so I never eat lobster before.
We have lots of lobsters in Boston, so it's much cheaper here.
In the Northeast, you know, generally it's going to be cheaper to get this style of lobster. I also prefer this style of lobster versus like lobsters you would find on the West Coast or even, you know, the Southeast by Florida. There's just a completely different texture and flavor to them. But growing up, I didn't really eat lobster rolls. I didn't eat lobster rolls until much later in life. When I say later in life, like maybe my mid-teens, not even, no. I was living in China at that time and there was definitely no lobsters there. So yeah, my late teens. And there's a few different styles. I think everyone has their own way of doing it. It's very labor intensive if you're going to cook the lobster from scratch like they are. But I find that typically, you know, it's something you treat yourself to when you go to a restaurant or day at the beach and there's, you know, a food shack out there that serves lobster rolls. Let me know in the comments below how you guys prefer your lobster rolls. Have you had a lobster roll before? I really do think the Northeast style of lobster roll is something really special.
This is a boy.
So a lobster boy got two peels. Uncle Roger really envy lobster now. They got two
I didn't know that actually.
They got one spare. One dick don't work that night. You got another one.
Second lobster right here, you look at those same little things. These are lighter, more like feathers. This is a female.
Oh, female got dick also.
When did anyone say this was a penis?
Oh, Uncle Roger just assume.
In the kitchen, we always say don't, well, not even, I've heard this elsewhere as well, but we, you know, for me at least, the first time I heard this, never assume because it spells ass, you, me. So if you assume, it's gonna make an ass of you and me. Never assume.
He don't want you to touch his penis.
Uncle Roger.
Sexually assaulting this lobster. Uncle Nick, the Harvey Weinstein of shellfish.
Is it a boy or a girl? Try to touch
No,
it.
Man,
just
Uncle Roger's terrified of this thing.
Okay, Uncle Roger, guess it a girl, it a girl.
It is a girl. Yeah, you got it.
Uncle Roger guessed that because this lobster acting crazy. That's why I know it a girl.
How have you not gotten in trouble saying
for
this
real.
kind of thing?
When I was working at a restaurant called Telepan, you know, Bill Telepan's namesake restaurant, he is now the chef at MoMA, overseeing all their food operations, massive operation. But he was, you know, that was my first fine dining experience. And one of his signature dishes was the lobster bolognese. And I had to process a lot of lobster when I was working there. So I'm very familiar with how to butcher a lobster, cook a lobster, and things like that. So let's see how Nick does.
You have to be careful because if you put your finger in there, he will take your finger off. She.
She, yeah. Uncle Nick used the right pronoun. We have to ask them what pronoun they want. Maybe this lobster is they, them. Don't just misgender them. This 2022, Uncle Nick. Don't get cancelled.
I'm gonna show you what this would be like if this was your finger. Or something even worse potentially.
Oh.
You ready? Put that in there.
Ooh.
Yikes. Wow. I've been lucky. I've never been caught with a lobster
This lobster
claw
like
before.
vegetable.
I've been caught with blue crab claws before, but those aren't nearly as bad as something that ginormous.
Uncle Roger losing respect for it. Oh.
That's gone.
Do you hear
Watch
that?
me try to pull it out. I can't.
Niece and nephew, this is gonna be my last video with 10 fingers.
Hey, Uncle Roger, why so pussy? It's just a lobster, bro.
Kill the lobster before I go ahead and steam it. It's the more humane thing to
Yep,
do.
I had to do the
Okay.
same exact
Lobster
thing.
don't have central nerve.
I can already tell you what he's gonna do. He's gonna puncture it basically on the top of its head between the eyes. That will kill it. And as he said, it's a bit more humane rather than putting it into a steamer or boiling water alive.
Kill them between the eyes, you put the knife in and you crunch down. Bash it down and
I
crunch
usually
through.
go the other way though. I puncture the same area, but I go towards away from the tail. It seems like he's gonna have Nigel or Uncle Roger do it towards the tail.
Lobster,
Which, you know, both
Uncle Roger,
ways will
sorry
work.
I have to do this to you. I feel bad. Uncle Roger going to
feel
hell.
bad.
He's still moving, no? Uncle Nick is killer. Uncle Roger,
Man, there's some
big scat
people
now.
who work
I
with
filmed it
Peter
Jeffrey
freaking
Dahmer
out
Jr.
right now.
At this point, it is finally time to steam and cook the lobster now that you've killed it. Even though I will say you killed it a little bit slower than I would have liked. The good thing is he's not gonna feel anything anymore.
He in a better place now.
He is a little bit too big.
Your saucepan.
I've been catching lobster since I was a little kid. I have a kayak. I row out there with my brothers. We pull all the traps up. I brought Manny out one day, my camera guy.
Oh, that's
It's
super
this
cool.
family bonding activity.
Exactly.
That's awesome. I've never caught lobster before. I have gone crab catching before, you know, around New York. There are places where there's a dock and you take a chicken leg, put it into the trap, throw it into the water, wait, and then you pull it up and you got blue crabs and you cook it that night. Absolutely delicious. I love, I mean, who doesn't love fresh shellfish? Really awesome. And how about you guys out there? You know, what are some of your experiences with fresh shellfish?
When I growing up, what I do with my dad, we just go cycling. Uncle Nick go on killing spree. Oh, for your cookbook. Every YouTube chef got cookbook now.
Yeah.
What? Why it empty? Why it just cover?
The whole thing is a coloring book.
At least, coloring book at least.
Yeah, you draw pictures of food.
This is for people to write their own recipe in it. Ah, genius, genius.
I couldn't think of any on my own, so I just left them all blank.
Uncle Roger like this.
That's pretty funny.
You know how to make brown butter?
No,
and lobster.
butter you just buy from
Oh
shop.
yeah,
You're not Amish. Don't need
all
to make your
day
own butter.
long.
First things first, we're gonna open up this butter and
Yeah,
go ahead and
super
put it right
easy.
in there.
Brown butter. I mean, you literally put it onto a pan and cook it until the milk solids turn brown. Super easy. And if you mess that up, that takes talent.
I'm gonna go ahead and take some of my MSG.
MSG with my face on it. Oh, this is nice, Uncle Roger. Like, you know I'm coming, so you do this?
No, I've had this for a couple years. I've had this since before I knew you. Okay,
Oh,
so
snap.
go ahead and we'll take a little bit of the MSG and sprinkle it into the butter.
Nice touch,
okay?
yeah.
That not enough. That
Normally,
not
I
enough.
just do some
Oh,
salt
that
and
little
finish
spout
it with
in the
lemon
diet.
juice. Oh no. Keep Uncle Roger away from the MSG.
What are you doing?
What are you
No,
doing?
oh my
What?
God.
Just putting MSG in there. What do you
Don't
mean?
tell me you're gonna put
And sprinkle
everything.
on the lobster. Enjoy before you die. Eat some MSG. This terrible design. Look at this. How you close it? How you stop this? How? No, it's spilling too much now. Oh no! It's still shit, too
Dude.
much white powder.
If Nigel did this in my kitchen, I would slap him. If Uncle Roger did this in my kitchen, I would slap him.
Who designed this? Look at this. Look at this camera. Look at so much white powder. This reminds me of my Saturday. You know what I mean?
And I have a little extra secret for once the butter's there.
So real quick, I'm taking a look at the ingredients set and it looks like it's gonna be a super simple lobster roll, which in my opinion should be kept that way. You know, the simpler the better, really let the lobster speak for itself. He's got mayo there, fresh dill, lemons, and it looks like that jar of his brand of salt. Honestly, that sounds awesome. Super nice, can't wait. And some brown butter in there.
I add a little bit of milk powder in there.
Ooh.
Now I wait until it gets nice and
Nice
toasty and light
touch.
brown,
Yeah.
and then we pour it off into a bowl. Can you get me
Sweet.
another bowl?
Yeah, that's a great touch. I mean, milk powder has a lot of applications, but in this case, you know, the milk solids in butter is really what gives butter a lot of its flavor, and especially when you brown it, it intensifies it more. By adding dried milk powder, you're actually just adding more of that brown milky flavor. I think that's a great touch. I'm gonna have to steal that.
So how you open this? You just hit it. Ah, this is what Uncle Roger like about cooking. Violence.
That is perfect brown butter.
Yep.
So
Beautiful.
the next step, we have hot dog buns. I like to go ahead and trim off both sides of the hot dog bun, and then I go in with some oil.
You
Nice.
just built whole studio kitchen, and then you forgot to put stove.
I
on your
personally would toast it with butter.
island. Why the stove?
That's
there?
just me.
You cooking
The oil
YouTuber,
works fine
stove
too.
should be here.
I did think Uncle Roger would be happy to know that I have a nice wok. It's
Oh.
very well seasoned, and I have a setup for my wok right here.
Nice, nice. But still, this thing should be over there. Nick, your designer f***ed up.
Beautiful golden brown.
If Uncle Roger
both
goes on a
sides.
date,
That's gonna be
comes
awesome.
back with a nice lady, and wakes up in the morning, do you make a nice breakfast?
No, I tied it out like how I tied the lobster. Since my ex-wife left, Uncle Roger don't focus on women now.
I hate to break it to you, but you're definitely gonna burn this, Uncle Roger.
Yeah, that's already burnt.
You keep
can see the
distracting
smoke.
Uncle Roger with your talking. Oh no. We do another one. Is this what you make when you bring women back? Lobster roll for breakfast?
If they're lucky.
Okay. Don't let your girlfriend find out.
Oh.
I thought you were
You
allergic.
put way too much MSG.
No such thing as too much MSG.
Yes, there is.
Oh, it's just right.
There's one more thing you can do with a lobster. You can hypnotize it or put it to sleep.
How?
Okay, so this guy's alive.
You just let them watch one of your videos. That's how they sleep. Emotional
Brutal.
damage.
That's good. That's good. You flip him down and put him on his face, and then see how he's still moving?
Yeah.
We're gonna brush him between his eyes for a little bit, right between his head, and then he'll slowly relax. Okay. He's asleep.
Fuyo. Nice.
Well, now watch. Ready?
Okay.
When you put him back down, he's alive again.
Huh.
Isn't that crazy?
This lobster's so stupid. Let's put it upside down, he fall asleep. Sometimes Uncle Roger got insomnia. Cannot sleep at night. I wish I was lobster. I just dare I fall asleep like this.
I'm gonna lift her out.
Oh.
Whoa.
Ooh, careful, careful.
And into the ice bath we
Nice.
go.
Okay, shocking it, stopping the cooking process. I mean, again, I've reacted to a few of Uncle Roger with Nick or a couple of Nick's videos, and you know he's great, man. I think he got pretty far, or maybe he won. I think it was called MasterChef. I don't really follow those shows, but I mean, you can clearly see he knows what he's doing.
They're so big that I can't even fit it in the ice bath.
Where you get this lobster from?
If that was me personally, like for a lobster roll, you're only going to use the knuckle, the claw, and the tail meat. So I would have just ripped those off and not shocked the body.
A guy that gives me seafood. So if I ask him for big lobster or small lobster, he gets whatever we need.
Nice.
Or I can ask him for all girls, or I can ask him for all boys.
So he like the human trafficker for lobster. And then what is this room?
This is the guest bedroom.
Why you got bedroom in your studio? Is this where you film your OnlyFans?
I don't have an OnlyFans.
Really?
No.
This perfect for it. The lighting good also.
My favorite movie in the world, Ratatouille, and this is my motto: anyone can cook.
Are you sure anyone
Nice.
can cook? Have you seen Jamie
Although-
Oliver?
I don't believe that's true. I mean, just watch some of the videos I've reacted to. Kay, Jack, both of which I'm willing to give you some cooking lessons.
You should put except Jamie Oliver under there. More neon text under
Oh, speaking of which, I actually, because you came to Boston, I have a gift for you. I kept it hidden in the drawer so that Uncle Roger wouldn't see it.
there. What is that?
You ready?
Yeah? Oh no.
Oh, God.
Jamie's 15-minute meals.
What is this? Hiya. Oh, and there's stuff inside. Jamie Oliver, his cookbook should be empty. Hiya. Thank you, Uncle Nick, but Uncle Roger not gonna bring this back with me.
At this point, we need to take
Nice.
out all the meat. First things first, crack off a cloth, okay? Crack it,
Nice.
and then go ahead and crack
Yep.
it open.
That's exactly
Pull
how you
that
do
off.
it.
Fuyo.
It's lots of lobster.
You definitely want to use a beater knife for that. It's pretty brutal on your knives. So I actually have a separate knife in my kit that I use just for breaking down lobster or anything that's gonna, you know, if I have to scrape bones or something, I always use the beater knife.
That right there is the whole lobster cloth from
Nice.
inside. Isn't that beautiful?
Ow. Why it's so hard to crack? I struck. Oh.
Oh, good. Now you can break it by.
Oh, squirting. Fuyo. Uncle Roger never seen this before. If I can't make woman squirt, make lobster squirt, that's a nice second place. It's not perfect, but it's okay. First time cooking lobster.
Not bad at all. All right, and the last thing I want to show you is how to take off the tail, okay? Open it up.
He cut through the claw, so it didn't come out whole. But you know, for a first time, can't.
Again.
What that green thing? What that?
That's just part of that's the poop.
Ooh.
That's a lot of
There's a lot of
Yeah.
Remind me of you, full of
Now you can see I've slightly undercooked the meat on purpose so I can control the finishing of it,
Nice.
okay?
Yep. I was about to say it looked a little underdone, but number one, you're going to be able to extract much more plump meat, and he is correct. You know, by kind of par cooking it, as he's gonna finish it, he can control the doneness and ultimately the texture of the end product.
Oh, someone taught Uncle Roger knife work, huh?
But you think I can't cook? Why you look down on me like that? Just because I don't compete in MasterChef don't mean I cannot cook.
I might be the one that's about to lose my title. Do you want to try a piece? I'll feed you. What are you doing? Why are you closing your eyes like that?
The texture good. Many people overcook lobster and then it become very rubbery.
Put that into the pan. Once that's lightly hot, I'm gonna go ahead, toss in my lobster meat, but we don't want to overcook.
Very
it.
nice.
This is nephew. This is not non-stick, so you can use metal in it. Don't worry.
This is how we finish a lobster roll, okay? In with some mayonnaise.
Good American condiment.
It's actually not in my cookbook, but I do this. This is a little trick outside. I like to go ahead and just put some celery.
Beautiful.
Just for
Texture, freshness with the
Why not in your
celery.
cookbook?
Love that.
I just forgot.
I love putting celery into a lot of my, salads, as far as like potato salads or macaroni salads. I think it adds a nice pop. If he's going to be adding this lobster into the mayo directly from the pan, I'm a little weary about that, only because, it still may be hot and could possibly cause the oil to separate. Nick is a pro. I'm sure he lives in the New England area, so I'm sure he's made this a million times, probably way more than I have. But for me personally, I would rather wait for the lobster to fully cool. I do, however, agree cooking the lobster the rest of the way with the brown butter. I think that's a nice touch, because if you were to add the brown butter into the lobster mix with the mayo cold, what happens to fats like butter? It seizes up, and it'll get lumpy. By putting it into the lobster and cooking it with the lobster, it'll incorporate a lot better.
Where's my microplane? You know what a microplane is?
Shredding cheese thing.
You know so much more than I thought you did.
What?
Nice.
Who do you think I am? Jamie
Lemon
Oliver.
zest, beautiful.
So I'm gonna go in with a little bit of this lemon zest.
That's the
like
only
to-
thing lemon good for.
I wonder if he's
You
gonna
ever
put
tried
any
to eat whole
garlic. I'd
lemon?
love
It
to put
tastes
a
like
tiny bit of raw
lemon
garlic in
zest
there.
tastes amazing.
Dill.
Nice.
Then we can go in with some lobster meat. Go ahead and pick all the good ones, right?
And the rest you throw them out.
Feed them to everybody else that's helping us film.
Yeah, like the cameraman. Look at this shirt. Look at this shirt. Leave comment below who you think pull it off better, Uncle Roger or Nephew Manny.
The most important ingredient in my lobster roll, some of this brown butter. A bunch
okay,
of this
so
brown
he is
butter
putting
right
it in
into there,
cold.
okay? Those are all the flavorful milk solid bits. Now we layer it all into the lobster roll, and then to finish things off, I like to add a little bit of these fennel fronds.
Frio, Uncle Nick, this looks so
Okay,
good.
nice. So he put fennel fronds, I think that was fresh dill, into the actual lobster mix itself. And then the fennel fronds will give it a bit of that anise flavor. Great touch. He did end up putting the brown butter in at the end. Okay, I mean, if you wanted to kick up the butter flavor a little bit. Overall, the fundamentals, very strong, great stuff. That is going to be a smashing, amazing tasting lobster roll. I'm actually drooling right now.
The bread crunchy and sweet, good texture. The lobster and the butter salty, nice.
Very good.
Amazing. Uncle Roger can't stop eating this. This tastes so good. Uncle Roger decide you get to keep the uncle title.
Nice.
Congratulations, Uncle Nick. To commemorate this, Uncle Roger got special gift for you. T-shirt with uncle title.
Oh, wow.
I'm gonna hang this up in my
Super
studio.
cool.
Put next to all your world record over there. And you can put it there until you lose it again. Because I know you're gonna f up soon. I have a good feeling.
Guys, this was a fantastic video. Again, Nick knows exactly what he's doing, and I am drooling thinking about this lobster roll. Real labor of love to make lobster rolls from scratch at home, so I commend him. With that said, hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did making it. And remember, don't be afraid to fail, because it can only make you stronger. And with that said, I am Chef Brian Tsao, not your typical chef, and I'll see you really soon.